Okay, so I am going to use the perspective tool and I am going to set my vanishing points. And then after I set my vanishing points, I am going to use that technique I showed you where you're splitting the difference between rays. And I'm just going to work off of a box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my three main rays, and those are the lines that, you can start over here if you want, over here. I think you should kind of back off before, because if you look at, do you see how the line that is vertical right now, as I move it over, it's almost like, think of it like the arm on a clock, and it continues to change until it meets this angle over here, which I would estimate is about 45 degrees. And so again, I know I'm like a little bit of a broken record here, but the further apart you put your vanishing points, like if I move it all the way down over here, the more subtle the effect of the perspective is going to be. Because look, so now I've got my vertical, and oh, would you look at that? It only shifts a little bit. All right, so it goes from probably 90 degrees to, I would guess, actually, let's just drop a line in. It goes from 90 degrees to, well, we can agree that's 85. So the distance, your vanishing points, the distance between your vanishing points and your object is going to have a profound effect on what everything ultimately looks like. So I'm not, it's not the end of the world. It's in fact it's more, I'm saying, if you mess up, it's like I wouldn't worry about it really, because you have to do thousands of these drawings before you get a sense for what the appropriate distance, how far apart you should set your vanishing point. So like I said, I am going to zoom in and I'm going to establish first my horizon line, and then I'm also going to put in my my key line for my my third vanishing point. All right, and then from here I'm going to find the center of this line, and I'm going to draw it out to the vanishing point. And then from here, I'm going to take this over, and I'm going to draw out to the vanishing point. And I have the beginnings of a plane. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to just create right there, and then right there. All right, there's my first plane. And I am going to just make a box. There we go. And then maybe we'll set the bottom as somewhere around here. And since we've set the bottom, we can trim up a little bit of this. On a tablet, you can actually do a little more than what you want. So this is going to be my city. And anytime I need to add something, I'm just going to kind of say, okay, would the line be closer to this angle or would it be closer to this angle? Because again, we have, two lines. And so each of these lines is going towards the vanishing point. And if this one is 10 degrees, and this line is 17 degrees, okay, somewhere in between 10 and 17 is the line we're going to put here for our next building. All right, I'm going to prove that to you in just a second. All right, so this line right here, I said would be in between this line and this line. And that's kind of like, I think about it, it's like a conversation almost. Like, you can have many voices, but the voice, so there you go, 13. So we got 17. We know that one's 13. And we know this one's 9. And we know the big trend is the closer they get to the horizon line, the closer they get to 0. But what I was saying earlier is it's like it's a conversation, right? And you can have multiple voices. It's just those voices have to be working together. Or better yet, it's like a band, okay? A band has many instruments, but the instruments work together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue drawing my city. I'm going to turn my mic off. And when the city is complete, you guys will have a better sense of, what we're doing together as a group. All right, so I did all my initial work in a very dark line. And for those of you working with traditional media, that is not best practice. But for those of you working on maybe digital media, what you could do is you could bring the opacity of the layer down, just like I did there. And that's easier than erasing, actually. It's and if you're working in traditional media, this would be called a layover. So you could just as easily, put a piece of paper like that you can kind of see through and trace your own work, and that's when you do some of the cleanup, because we have a lot of mass here. We have a lot of forms, and I've got this one building that's kind of like the most interesting one that is becoming the focal point. So I think I've knocked back this layer, and then when I'm totally done, I'm gonna just like make it go away like that. It disappears. Ooh, where'd it go? Spooky. It's for right now. Because I have my big ideas in, and because it looks like, I'm actually not even going to use anything beyond this area, I'm going to just kind of zoom in, and I'm going to start to fine tune my drawing.